Not good news for Christian McCaffrey, who is, according to this report and many other reports, looking at a couple months more of being out of action. Some reports say it's a matter of weeks. We had Ian Rappaport talking about weeks versus months, but we have a lot of reports surfacing that news that he got from Germany regarding his Achilles tendonitis are coming back to it's a matter of, can this guy get back for the NFL playoffs if the Niners, are so lucky to make the playoffs at this point. So, horrible news, but that's Jordan Mason season. We've been talking about it for how long now? Jordan Mason to the mother freaking...
Let him cook.
Jordan Mason is an absolute league winner, and I'm just so happy about Jordan Mason's success. This is unrelated to Christian McCaffrey's injury. We can be happy about Mason and not be sitting here celebrating injury. We can chew gum and talk at the same, chew gum, walk and talk at the same time. But Christian McCaffrey looking donezo. You never know. He could try and return in week 12, 13, 14. Like the way that this is projected right now is that it could be months, and then they're waiting and seeing. And even then, think about what we're talking about. This is not your Achilles tendonitis that Steve, says in the comments, and I appreciate everybody giving their input and everything, but Steve will be like, I had this when I was a kid, Smitty. I had this when I was a kid. It goes away. It was really painful. You didn't have this when you were a kid. You had a developmental version of this that you outgrew. Christian McCaffrey is a grown man. He's 28 years old, and he has the mileage of a 300,000 mile vehicle, a Tacoma, which they can do pretty well at 300,000, but you start worrying once you get to 300,000. This particular Tacoma wasn't taken care of. This particular Tacoma was run into the ground. So he is at the 300,000 mark. We're just wondering what in the hell is next. And this is not your growing pains or when you were a little kid and you had Achilles tendonitis or Osgood-Slaughter or something in your legs. This is not that. This is a completely different situation. So he's probably, I would say, donezo for the year. You need to make sure you have Isaac Guerendo if you're a Jordan Masonite owner. Masonites assemble. Masonites assemble.
Let's go. Mashed potatoes. Yeah, buddy.
Oh. Masonites assemble. And honestly, couldn't be happier for our people in the building. I couldn't be more happy for our people in the building. Okay. Other news. I see a lot of chatter in the live chat earlier before we started. I saw a bunch of people talking about Nico being out. Nico's not out. Nico's not out yet. Stop trying to connect dots that aren't there. There are a lot of people on Twitter that you probably should maybe staying away from if you're getting news that he's out. He's not out. He's limited with a hamstring issue, which could lead to him being out. No doubt about it. There are a lot of people who have hamstring, calf injuries that they pop up and then they end up missing multiple weeks. It happens all the time. There's certainly that world that we need to expect to potentially live in where Nico Collins is missing a game or even two, but this is not that yet. He sat out with hamstring limited session tightness, and he was in a limited session. It wasn't like he was completely out of the entire practice, but he sat out. It was deemed as a limited session. Tank Dell is also dealing with the wrist injury. A lot of reports saying he doesn't look likely, but that report stems from one beat writer saying he almost certainly is going to miss the game, and everybody kind of ran with it. So we don't even know about Tank Dell yet. I would assume that you're without Tank Dell for 1 week. I would assume that this is a 50-50 situation and nothing more until we hear otherwise. Doesn't mean we won't. Tomorrow, we could definitely hear Tank Dell or Nico Collins and Tank Dell are both out for week number 4, but we have no indication of that yet. And people that keep saying this, they're just, people are trying to get ahead of the news. They're trying to be the ones that predicted Tank Dell and Nico to both miss this game. Not the case yet. Kenneth Walker returned to a practice today with the oblique. That's great news. His job is definitely on the line because of how well Charbonnet's been playing, and we don't know what he's returning to, quite frankly. whether it's a timeshare or whatever. But Walker's very much more explosive than Charbonnet. Everything Charbonnet's done, Walker would have done and better. Just so everybody knows, don't get caught up in the stats. Those stats were remarkable, and it's kind of a pisser that this guy Walker wasn't out there for this stretch of football, because man, it would have been the stuff that legends were made of. This Walker coming out, doing what he finally was capable of doing, finally putting it on the field, and he just can't stay healthy. And that's a concern moving forward for Walker. It definitely is. Even in future years, dynasty leagues go forward, we have to kind of look at all that. Marvin Harrison Jr. was limited for Thursday's practice. Not too concerned yet. We'll play that by ear. That's not something I'm all that concerned about. McBride concussion remained, did not participate, so he's very much in question for at least 1 week with the concussion. By the way, before the game starts, this is my there's never a lock. Nothing's a lock in football. Guy could pull up and have a hamstring injury or a calf injury or just get shut down in a game. But Neighbors higher than 69.5 feels like my lock of the night. My close to being a lock of the night. Absolutely smashed the hell out of that. We got the CMC news. I've already gone over that. Not good news. Probably out months, if not donezo for the year, which means Masonites assemble. Masonites assemble.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah, we have to. Let's go. Start the procedure. Masonites assemble.
All right, we got super chats to get to, but real quickly, let me get through the news. Covey told reporters he suffered a broken scapula and is expected to be sidelined 6 weeks. So that's a bummer for those that thought maybe he could be useful in that Eagles wide receiver room. Deebo Samuel with his pads on at practice. Good sign that he'll be back next week, but a potential of returning this week. Great buy low candidate. This was on our list of buy lows walking into the coming week before kickoff. This is my Gibbs board here. And then it was wide receivers. We had these guys and Deebo Samuel, one of the best buys before week number 4 kicks off. Cooper Kupp as well. But Deebo, go get this man. Go get this man. Even Nico with the injury news, go get him. Even Dell with the injury news makes him cheaper. It's definitely 2 fantastic buy low plays. Worthy, lamb chops. Good luck after tonight. He'll be off the buy low board for good after he explodes in this one, because he's pissed off right now. Dell, as I mentioned, is unlikely to play. This report stemming from, I believe, the original report, which a beat writer just said he's most likely not going to play. But it was not anything that felt concrete at the moment, but a lot of people have run with it. It's probably likely to happen at some point when the news finally does break and they look at it. But he's dealing with a rib and wrist issue. But it could be a pain tolerance thing, and he gets out there because Nico's now looking like he's in jeopardy. Not out, but in jeopardy. A lot of people saying he's out. He's not out yet. Devontae Smith, concussion, did not practice on Thursday. That's not looking promising for week 4. Alvin Kamara, hip and ribs, return to practice on Thursday. It's fully expected at this point that he's going to go. Jordan Love, this news from LaFleur, said that the team will give Love his knee, his MCL, up to game time to decide whether or not he will play week 4 against the Vikings. Now remember, when the Vikings make people see ghosts, man, this might not be the game to bring Love back. You may want to. This is kind of like a weak move when you think about it. Like I'm a man's man. I think a lot of us like to assume we are a man's man. I like to think I wouldn't back down to any challenge. I'd like to think that if I was told the Vikings, maybe you sit out a week, I'd say, give me the Vikings. Let's go do it live. But this team might be looking at it differently, and they might say to themselves, look, the Vikings are atrociously hard to play against from a passing perspective. Look what they did to Stroud. This is a terrorizing passing defense, just terrorizing. And constantly you hear they make quarterbacks see ghosts. Stroud looked completely off his game. So Jordan Love is a tough play in this week. if he comes back from the knee injury, his first game back. I have a feeling they're going to sit him. I'm feeling the coaching staff's smarter than this. Let's let Malik go out there. Maybe somehow this is a tough matchup for the Vikings and they run the ball. It's a tough matchup for the Vikings defensively because they're just going to ground and pound, and this is like a mobile quarterback that's not necessarily the traditional kind, and maybe it works somehow, and they squeak out a win. Like, this might be, take the momentum into it, let this man, Jordan Love, heal. Don't let him go up against the havoc of a defense that's going to make his life miserable. I have a feeling this team wants to sit him, and I don't blame him. But like I said, would I want to go out there? Yes, but I understand this from a coaching perspective. I'm great, said Jamar Chase when asked about his shoulder. Bijan Robinson was limited in Thursday's practice. I don't think this will be anything but maintenance, but we'll monitor that. But people like trying to act like the sky's falling when guys pop up on the injury report. It's week number 4. We're going to see everybody on the injury report now. So you're going to have a lot of limited sessions on Wednesdays and Thursdays. Laporta is a great buy low. He did not practice. There's a good chance he misses another game. But I'm telling you, his owners are going to be soured on him, and he's already disappointed. Go buy him low. Justin Herbert was not spotted at Thursday's practice. They better not run Herbert out there. He's going to get rocked in this game without his 2 best offensive linemen. Alvin Kamara, I had that news already on screen. I already talked about Deebo Samuel at practice. Nico Collins, again, on the injury report with the hamstring, is a limited session, but don't freak out about that yet. Everybody's making something out of it because they want to be the one that called it or something. It's wild. There's no report that he's not playing this week yet. It could develop, but there's no report on it. Joe Mixon did not practice on Thursday. Monitor that. Probably not playing. Bucky Irving said he will play week 4, which is interesting because he was kind of feeling like a guy maybe trending in the wrong direction. We got $20 haulers, one from G Money. G Money, appreciate you, my guy, dropping the 20 wad on screen. Let me see if there are any others. I think Fonz had one. Let's hit these super chats right now. And then go on to the rest of the questions. Hey, Smitty, this team is 2-1, 12-team, half PPR, QB, JD5, running back Mason, Connor. Good job on Mason, pal. Charbonnet, Garendo, you did the Garendo, Masonite cuffing situation, and I'm proud of you, G-Money, for listening on that one. Connor and Benson's pretty secure. Like, you got a good running stable. It's not, and Braylon Allen's a league winner if it happens. So, Rice, Neighbors, I like it. Cup, you're waiting on Cup. Nakua, you're waiting on Nakua. Just got offered Lamb for Connor and Neighbors. Accept it. I don't know that you could. I'm going to say, man, this is tough. Chat, can we get a vote on this? The reason I'm even thinking about this is it's just because you're keeping Benson, and I do think Connor, there is a chance Connor's not even playing in week 10. He always gets hurt, and he's older now, 29 years old. I don't know. I'm tempted to hit this button before the game, but Neighbors is so damn good. How far away is Neighbors from Lamb? I think touchdown-wise, it will be a little bit further than people like. But there's still a world where Neighbors is close to Lamb. So what are we doing here? Are we taking this trade or not? The problem is, you're not able to play Connor. You got Charbonnet. He's in a decent spot for you. Benson eventually will get there. Braylon Allen's kind of a decent play each week. What are we doing on this? Do we smash this and grab CeeDee Lamb? CeeDee Lamb for Connor and Neighbors. I'd like you to get something else. We got one hit that button. We got one Lamb chops. He has no running back 2 for a while. Neighbors over Lamb. Not Neighbors over Lamb, but in time maybe. Neighbors, the new JJ, he is looking fantastic. His future is so bright, and his now is great too. There is going to be some limitations though. I'd probably say, the problem is, Connor can be good. Connor, he was definitely getting worked like crazy in the beginning of the year, and just had a bad week. So, I'd go ahead and take Lamb chops. Do it before the game. Lamb's gonna have a big game, bro. So Neighbors could have a big game too, but this is a tough one. This is one we could come back, D-Money, and shake our heads and go, damn it. But I'm gonna go Lamb chops. I think Lamb chops has a monster game. That's a tough one, bro. That's a really tough one. Just don't give him Benson. Smitty, help me, please. I'm down bad at wide receiver. Is Wanda Robinson a play? Devontae Smith, Dell probably out. Keon, Worthy over Robinson for me. That's easy. You're not down bad. You got Worthy. Or are these easy? That's an easy call, bro. All right, here we go. We got we can't match. Says a guy wants Mason and MHJ for Gibbs and McLaurin. I bet he does. And I'm going to tell him no. Absolutely not. Hold off. Don't do that. I mean, Mason just got a whole big injection of value right this afternoon. 0-3, want to make a move. Thank you for the $20 hauler, Nicholas. Trade my Jonathan Taylor and Ridley for Hill and ETN. Yeah, I would take Hill and ETN, to be honest with you. Look, I love Taylor, but Taylor is not going to be consistent. I know people want him to be, but AR5, is going to be running some touchdowns in. In order to get him right, he has to get back into running the ball. I think ETN's a good buy low. I think Tyreek Hill's a good buy low. I get that Ridley also has potential, but I'm going to take the ETN side and pretty much run. Big game for Neighbors. Hit this higher. Big game for let's see. Where is my damn question here? Big game for Neighbors. Where's that other question? I don't know. Big game for Lamb. So make sure you got both those guys on potentially hires on most questions. But definitely Neighbors' yardage is going to be insane. Trade Nico ETN for Chase Mason post CMC news. Nico ETN. Yeah, I'm taking Chase and Mason and I'm running. Like that's a lamb basting. You're absolutely crushing your friend. That friend may not talk to you ever again. Two things. Got James Conner and Amari Cooper. James Conner for Amari Cooper. I don't know if I'd say it's a win. I'd say it's a wash. It could go either way. Why do you like Tank Dell so much? Should I drop Yoshivas? Why do you not like Tank Dell so much? I don't understand what there is to not like about Tank Dell. Like what he did last year, broke his leg, but was on pace to be the number one wide receiver for the team. I do accept Nico's the number one. But for people to just say Tank Dell's stat sheet doesn't look good, you didn't watch the game. Like, I could tell by that comment, no offense, but I could tell by that comment you didn't watch the game. Because if you watched the game, you know that he almost had 2 touchdowns in total in weeks 1 and 2 combined. And the guy had 5 receptions last week in a hell of a week. Trade Nico Collins for JD5, Tyreek Hill, and JD5 and Nico for Tyreek and Mahomes. With Nico's status, it's possible you say, give me the Tyreek Mahomes side. But if healthy, I'd lean Nico JD5. So I'd say this is a gut call at this point because you're banking on the health of Nico, which you don't know. I think people are overreacting on it, but he could miss a game. So chat, vote on this one. Nico JD5, knowing what we know now, or Tyreek Mahomes. Let's get a group think on this one, bro, because I think this is something that requires that. G. Willie, for Mason, we take Mason and run, I think, bro. Is this veto worthy? There's no veto worthy trade, so my answer is already no. Dobbins for Ferguson? No. Why would that be veto worthy? I don't even know what side the league's trying to veto. That's how stupid of a veto that is. Ridiculous when people veto things. Hey Smitty, I'm 2-1. Wow. Who do you like better at flex this week? Quentin Johnson or Mooney? I'd probably go Mooney, man. I mean, you don't even know who's quarterbacking for the Chargers this week, bro. Trade Goff, Benson for Anthony Richardson, Superflex. Yeah, bro, easily. Anthony Richardson is one of the better buy lows in Superflex. Kyron Williams, Ayuk for Collins and Connor. Don't trade Kyron Williams, bro. No, absolutely not. And again, Nico is potentially going to miss a week. Dak Prescott rolling out, incomplete. Hey, Smitty, I'm nuts for entertaining this trade, ? Nico and Jacobs for my JJ. No, you're not. But Nico being banged up right now makes it a little bit problematic. I'd probably lean toward the JJ side right now, given that unknown. Because otherwise, let's just say worst case scenario, you're looking at a game or two. Well, now it's Jacobs versus JJ for 2 straight weeks. And, you don't want to get rocked on that. I'm just going to hold off on that. Lamb chops 4th and 5. Lamb's not looking happy on the sideline. Dallas needs to get it done. What's good? Smitty got offered Tyreek for Sharps and Pickens. Sharps and Pickens don't hold a candle to Tyreek, bro. People are overreacting on Tyreek's situation. He can still survive. Start Akers versus Jaguars or Wandale tonight. Sorry, Tony, I missed that. This is a toss-up. I would have probably brought it to the chat, and I would have said I lean Wandale because of the unknowns of the running back situation across the board in Houston right now. Lamb and ETN for Hall, Debo, Ridley. Lamb and ETN for Hall, Debo, Ridley. Give me Hall, Debo, and no. I mean, you can't do that now. I mean, you could still hit accept, but it'll go through next week. I'd say, geez, Debo's at practice with pads, which was good. I guess, you know what, I might lean. Chat, what are we doing on this one? Lamb, ETN, or Hall, Debo, Ridley? Can we get a vote on that one? I don't know. That one's tough, bro. I'd probably lean. I don't know. That's a tough one, bro. BA for Cup. I'd probably lean on the... I'll lean on the Lamb side. Just by a hair. BA for Cup. I'd rather have Cup. I'd rather have Cup and wait, bro. Need help with Waddle, Keon T. Yeah, I'd wait on him. That's a great move. That's a really good move. Have Achane, Bijan. Should I trade one for Gibbs? Yeah. I mean, I'd take Gibbs over Bijan. I'd probably take Gibbs over both of them right now. That's just my evaluation of Gibbs moving forward. But I love Bijan still. I love Achane right there. Yeah, buddies. So this is, let's see, 20-yard line. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 yards right there. 40 yards. That higher was the easiest one on Underdog. Plain and simple. Code Smitty. Easiest higher on Underdog this week. Smash. Smash. Trade away Diggs for Tyreek Hill. Did I win or lose? I'd rather have Tyreek Hill. I was offered Kyler for CMC. Take it and run. Yeah, at this point, especially if you need a quarterback. Calvin with the $10 hauler. Traded McCaffrey for Achane Connor in a dynasty to my brother before week 1. I think he secretly wants to. Bro, he's probably so pissed. He's also getting McCaffrey jersey for Xmas as a reminder. Oh, man, that's horrible, Calvin. Jeez. That's brutal. What a trade. I bet he's never going to trade with you again. Danny Dimes takes it, runs just short of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 2. Half PPR Jacobs for Cup and Mostert. I'd rather have Jacobs given that Cup's, still out. It came out of the cast, but we're probably still a couple of weeks away. I'd take Jacobs, I think. But I love Cup, bro. Mason, Kamara, B-Rob, Zach Moss, Allen for running backs. I mean, honestly, it could go either way. If you feel like your wide receivers, which you didn't list, are weak, then I could get behind this. Go Cup. I'm torn on it anyway. So if your position of need is in that direction, bro, then go for it. It's very even. Trade Higgins and JMO for McLaurin and Shaheed. Guys, can we get a vote on this one, please? Chat, trade Higgins and JMO for McLaurin and Shaheed. I'm going to say keep JMO and Higgins. That's my vote anyway. But chat, can we vote on that one, please? Higgins and JMO or McLaurin Higgins. I like McLaurin, but Higgins could be argued as an even for him. I mean, honestly. And I just think JMO's getting mad disrespected right now in trade offers. This is crazy. Crazy. By the way, I have Malik Neighbors and Lamb in my lineup. Attaboy, you're going to have a big day today, Red. You're going to have a real big day today. Matt got offered Mixon for BT and Watson. I would probably take the gamble on Mixon because once he comes back, he'll do well. Will he stay healthy? I don't know about that. But, yo, Smitty, I just acquired Cup for J.K. Dobbins and Mooney. Did I get him? I think you got him.
Got him.
That's a great move. Thank you for the $10 hauler. Appreciate you, bro. Leo with a super chat. I have Caleb, CMC, Mason, Kyron. Let's see here. Worthy. How can I get consistency at wide receiver? Grab wide receivers and a trade Mason, Ridley for London, Stevenson. Don't trade Mason, bro. First of all, Ridley's not that far off of like Ridley. You know what I'm saying? Ridley's not that far off, sorry, from London. Like, I'd rather have London. Of course I would. But you can't be trading Stevenson down to Mason to try and get... You're chasing London a little bit here. Don't do that. Mason and Kyron are fantastic. I think your big problem is Caleb Williams, but he does have a very good schedule going forward. You could score some fantasy points, but I would say, like, looking at this, Waddle, Ridley, Dell's injured. Let him come back. Worthy's fine. So I'm starting Worthy and I'm starting Waddle without much of a hesitation. Now, would I trade? Maybe. You're probably waiting on Roshan to gain some value. Or if you're going to trade Mason, go get ETN and an upgrade from Worthy to St. Brown. You know, that would be a move to MHJ. Like, use that downgrade into ETN. Take the gamble on ETN using the more secure Mason. Do not trade Kyron. That would be the move if you want to go in that direction. Otherwise, I kind of think your receivers are better than you think. You just are disappointed in them and they haven't played well. But I think they bounce back. Again, changing lanes on the freeway doesn't mean the lane you get in is going to go fast just because it was going fast. Now the lane you get out of it starts going fast, and you get in the lane that was going fast and now it goes slow, and you play this lane game. AJB B-Rob for Gibbs and Adunze. I'd rather have Gibbs and Adunze by a country mile. Mainly because AJ Brown's hurt and you don't really know how he's going to respond coming back or when. And Gibbs is going to explode. So 100% one of the best trades of the evening. This super chat, but this one MCF gets to jump over him because he dropped a $20 hauler. It's an unfair world. Hall Braylon, thank you MCF, you absolute straight savage, for dropping the 20 watt on screen.
To Mars.
Appreciate you. All Braylon Allen, H-An, Rice, Neighbors, Garrett Wilson, MHJ, Godwin, JSN. Who should be on the trade block, or can I package for an elite talent? Thinking McBride, Kittle, or Chase, AJB, CD, or Barkley, Bijan, Mason, K9, Monty. I would probably say I'm keeping this team. Look, I like this team a lot. I love that you have Hall. I don't... Package for an elite talent. You got elite talents. You got H-Han and Hall. You got Rice, Neighbors, and Garrett Wilson, and MHJ, and Godwin. If I'm doing anything, I don't know who your quarterback is. I'm going and getting Mahomes or Josh Allen, which will be hard to do at this point, but I'm going and getting that quarterback. I don't know who your quarterback is, but thinking McBride, Kittle, or Chase, AJB. I would go after Chase, I suppose. If you could get rid of like Godwin and Garrett Wilson for Jamar Chase, if you could get rid of Godwin and Garrett Wilson for JJ, I'd do those moves. You know, JSN and one of them for a slight upgrade, JSN and Garrett Wilson for St. Brown. Those moves are okay. But Rice, Neighbors, MHJ, I don't want to trade those guys. I'll trade Garrett Wilson and Godwin. That's it. I'm not trading H-Han. I'm not trading Hall. I want a quarterback upgrade if you don't have a top 3 quarterback. That's the only place I'm taking that team, bro. That's a fantastic squad, I must say. I wouldn't be worried about that team at all. Unless you don't have a good quarterback, then that's where I'm going to focus. But, I mean, damn, bro. You did a nice job with that squad. All right, here we go. Kickoff. 3-0 Giants. Dallas Cowboys better get moving here. CMO. 14.5 Smitty needed help. Got offered Bijan and Keon Coleman and JD5 for Kyron, Garrett Wilson. Should I take it? Got offered Bijan, Keon Coleman, and JD5. And this is a redraft, I assume. Because JD5 would have more value, but it's a redraft. Kyron and Garrett Wilson. I'm looking at your squad, and so you got offered Bijan. So you didn't get offered Bijan. You're saying this backwards, bro. You got JD5 on your roster, and you're saying you got offered Bijan, JD5. You mean you got offered Kyron and Garrett Wilson for that group. And given you have Kyler, I absolutely accept that. That's an easy home run. And appreciate you for dropping the super chat, you monster, you. Absolute straight monster. That's why I answer those things the way I do, where I go, this is the side I want. Because I sometimes you guys, you ask the question backwards, and I want you to get the advice, the proper advice. Lamb chops, catching a little congested traffic pass and getting kind of swarmed. Short little gain. It's second down now. Giant defender is down. Injury timeout. That'll give the Dallas Cowboys some time to. Would you rather have Flex Ford or Stevenson? Probably Ford safer, Stevenson's higher risk, higher reward. Red, there's no good answer here. Chat, you can vote on that one, please. All right. Jacobs for Debo. I'd rather have Debo for the long term of the season. If you can weather through another week or so. Debo was in pads today. It's a good sign. Doesn't mean he plays. Okay. This one right here from Face. $10 hauler. Mahomes, MHJ, J-Mo, Mooney, Watson. Brooks, thoughts on Mostert, Brooks, Mooney for Tyreek Hill. I mean, easily, bro. I like Brooks. Brooks has got nice upside. He got a big injection and projected value with the benching of Young and the emergence of old school Red Rocket Dalton in the lineup. Definitely moving the football down the field. So I'm very much interested in trading Brooks away on the high or keeping him, either one. But in this case, where you don't have to wait for him because he's still going to take some weeks to get not only available to potentially play games, but to get up to speed, I'm going to go ahead and take the Tyreek Hill. This is an easy question, one of the easiest questions I've been asked all night. Smash that. This last super chat here, we'll be coming back to after the game to do a wrap-up show. Sick Nasty coming in strong. Cody dropping a super chat. Appreciate both of you. Kyler Murray or JD5 this week. Tough because they go against each other. Kyler by a hair for right now. Sick Nasty. I don't know. Part of me wants to say JD5. We might end up changing it. Can you ask me this Saturday night? I'm telling you right now, my answer is Kyler, but I have a feeling I'm going to switch it at the last second. That's my gut instinct. I'm usually right when I get a sense of what I might be doing. Days before I do it, there's a momentum. I kind of feel that it won't be turned around. A momentum train. Terry for Ayuk. I'd rather have probably Ayuk. Connor and Devontae Smith for Gibbs and Cup. Bro, I'd give up Connor and Devontae Smith for Gibbs alone. So you get Cup in that deal. That's absolute highway robbery. Just absolutely sickening to watch someone smash a trade like that and you don't get any part of it. I want to be involved in that. Why can't I get something like that? All right. So appreciate you. I don't know why you keep spamming the chat, Ralph. I've already addressed the entire Christian McCaffrey thing. What are you talking about, bro? This is part of why I went live on the Christian McCaffrey news. I've already covered all of it. I know I can tell you're a Niner fan because you're trying to come in and suggest that it's been, that it's good news. No. Smitty, it's Ralph. Smitty, it's Ralph. Ralph, I get breaking news. I'm a Niner fan. I think it's gonna work out. We're gonna have to cross our fingers. Jeez. I've already covered all of it. I've covered all of it, Ralph. All of it. I've already told you. There's multiple reports on this. There's reports that maybe it's a matter of weeks before they look at the next steps, and it's also he should and could be out months. Ralph, it's already. I don't need to look up anything. You need to look it up. Ralph, you're behind. You're behind. Smitty, I'm a Niner fan. It's going to work out, please. God, Ralph. God, Ralph. You know what I love better than that kind of conversation is when someone has thick enough skin that Ralph can take it and be like, I feel you, Smitty, all love. Let's go, Ralph. Ralph to the moon. It's just Ralph, you're blasting the chat. Like, you know, you're in a breaking news show. Like I got it covered. Lamb Chops taking the carry as an RB. Or at least looking like an RB. He adjusts his collar after he says he is an RB. Look at him. He's taking it like an RB. He's in the backfield. I don't know if I love this on a 10 to 12 carry per game basis, but I like what I'm seeing here. I'm not getting anything out of the other running backs. Dowd'll do anything, as we said all offseason. Zeke Elliott, he's got a walker out there. Lamb Chop's getting running back totes. I don't mind that once in a while. He looked great doing it. Dak Prescott. That was just, you know, why are we throwing it to a wide open Ferguson like 6 yards down the field? There's nobody around him. Why is Ferguson having to dive to catch it and have to get up again and then doesn't get a first down? Why did Dak throw that ball into the ground practically when Fergie could have just caught it and walked for a first down? Yeah, I do love Ralph's optimism for CMC. Smitty! Yeah, as I said at the beginning of the show, Ralph, there are multiple reports out right now. There's going to be a lot of optimistic reports. And when you ask Kyle Shanahan about his running back, you're going to hear him say, you know, things like, I think he needs to take some weeks off and then we'll assess it. But Christian McCaffrey, if he comes back too early from this thing, it's not going to be anything positive. And there's a reason he flew out of the country to go get it looked at. If this was just a couple weeks kind of thing, bro, he wouldn't have traveled to Germany and then them say, yeah, you're just out 2 more weeks. That's not how that works. And not to mention, even if he came back, do you think they would, in their wildest dreams, shove him out there at even 50% capacity for the next month of football? Hell no. They'll put him out there. He'd be in there in big plays. He'd be in around the goal line maybe. But Mason would get 15 carries a game still, even with Christian McCaffrey inching back week by week for about a 3 or 4 week stretch. If they bring him back, they want him for the playoffs. They want him for the playoffs. They're not concerned about the regular season. They'll maybe be concerned about it. Lamb Chop's getting another pass. Lamb's getting some work tonight. Lamb is getting worked. How many yards does he have? Show the stat, please. Show the stat. Lamb Chops, I imagine 4 for 50. Something around there. Pacheco, I don't know that I'd bank on Pacheco coming back either. I mean, that guy's getting hardware put in the leg, bro. All right, Dak in the gun. I like the quick throw. CeeDee Lamb, another reception. Now, it's a short 2 or 3 yard gain, but it's a PPR point. It's 0.2. Lamb's coming out. I think he needs a breather. I don't think he's hurt or anything. I just think he needs a breather. Yeah, he just needs a breather. He's not. They're just getting him water. He's been worked like a mad dog already. I don't like taking him out, though, when you're inside the 30-yard line. Because now, what if they throw a 20, 30-yard strike and he's not in there quick enough on a hurry-up? And then they rush to the line and Lamb's not in there for a touchdown strike. What's Lamb's total right now? They're not long passes, though. So it's possible he has 30 yards. But he's got 4 or 5 receptions already. This is awesome. It's good first quarter usage, and Lamb made a he's pissing and moaning about, not getting enough work. 4 for 30. Okay, so 4 for 30. 4 targets already. Easily a 10 target plus game. Lamb chops 1 carry for 10 yards. Getting some nice work. See, this is what I was afraid of. Okay, get Lamb back in there. It's a nice little throw. Nice little throw down to about this, 6-yard line, something like that. Big gain. Almost scored a touchdown. 1st and goal. Get Lamb chops back in the game. Neighbors got 1 catch for 39 yards on 1 target, by the way. So he already has almost this entire hire from Underdog, which is fantastic. Okay, let's get these super chats knocked out. Devontae Smith is my flex, but the concussion, I understand. That sucks. Hopefully he plays the next week, though. Let's not run the ball. Let's just throw Lamb the football. I don't know why we're going to waste an attempt. Why waste it down on running these garbage running backs? They're awful. Is Xavier Legette a thing with Dalton? He could be. He definitely could emerge into a thing, for sure. Wide receiver 3? No, but bench wide receiver that you're hopeful about. Traded BTJ and Ayuk for MHJ. Big win. Big, huge win, bro. Smitty approved all over the place on that one. Let's throw it to Lamb Chops, please. Oh, that was almost an INT. It was batted up. I think that was intended for Fergie in the middle front of the end zone. Millman 3-0, 12-man PPR with 8 Smitty trades. You're the best at recommendations and drops. AR5 Kyron. Okay, nice job, and thank you for the compliment, Joshua. Mixon, Akers, Steele, MHJ, Debo, Flowers, T. Higgins, Worthy. Thanks again, King. Thank you, pal. It's a good team. Now, Flowers, I'm tempted to trade. I'll be honest with you. Flowers and Mixon for one player, bro. Go after ETN. Go after Nico injured. You know what I'm saying, Joshua? Don't stop there. Make it a 9th trade, pal. Ralph dropping a super. Smitty just traded CMC for Worthy and Worthy for Gibbs. Oh, man. That was some bad tackling. Flag, though. Dowdle scores a receiving touchdown. All you Dowdle believers, just going to let you know right now, that was a horrible, I think this is coming back, but that was a horrible tackle job. That was not Dowdle dominating defenders, not to mention it's coming back. So box score Bobbies won't even see that this happened. Ralph, appreciate you. Ralph with a $5 holler says Smitty just traded. Oh, no, it's a touchdown. It's not coming back. There you go. Well, good for Dowdle, though. If you've got Dowdle, use this. He will become the starter, though. There is some value for Dowdle. But what a bad tackle job. Wow. Or lack thereof. That was the worst tackling I've ever seen. Good for Dowdle, but I would trade him. I would trade him off that. I'd get on the ringer right now. Smitty just traded CMC and Worthy for Gibbs. I like this trade, bro. How can you go wrong here? I hate getting rid of Worthy. I would have rather gotten rid of another player, but fantastic job. CMC, what's he going to do for you? Even if he comes back in 4 or 5 weeks, like you're out of the playoff hunt. Nice job, bro. Nice job. Nice trade. All right, so Dak Prescott gets a touchdown. I think I got my underdog contest here I wanted to pull up. I got where is this one? Neighbors, Lamb. Where's my Dak one? This one gets me, wow, this one's for $3,000. So, $28. Let me see if I can get this one put up on the screen here. So this one pays $3,000 and it was 30 bucks.
Motion detected at the front door.
If you guys want to do this as well, you just go to Underdog Fantasy. Go to Underdog, code Smitty. If you don't click the link right here though. If you want to get in, Underdog Fantasy, code Smitty, hit that link. They'll match 50% on your first deposit up to $1,000. But hit that link. I dropped a contest that has 8 players, 8 picks. Right, I get them all right, and I win $3,000. Lamb scores a touchdown, just 1 touchdown. Evans scores 1 touchdown. Receiving, rushing, doesn't matter. Stroud has to have 2 touchdowns, which is going to be a tall order. And I did this before the receivers, the receiver news dropped. But I still think he's going to be able to throw 2 touchdowns. Malik Neighbors needs 71.5 yards. He's already on his way. That line dropped after I made this. Gibbs needs 52 yards. Jacobs needs 57 yards. Worthy needs 43 yards. Jalen Hurts needs a rushing touchdown. If all those things happen, my $30 turns into $3,000. You can do this too. You can have fun dropping $5 or $10 contests where you're picking 8 things to happen. And you can flex it in the way that if 8 things happen, you get paid that. If 7 things happen, you get paid about double. And if 6 things happen, I think you get your money back. So it's pretty awesome. It's fun to do these. Yeah, anybody in Florida, please stay safe. We'll be back for the wrap-up show, everybody. Appreciate you all. I'll see you after. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for the $20 haulers. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for the $20 hauler, CMO. Thank you, MCF, for the $20 spot, bro. Thank you, Nicholas, for the $20 hauler. Thank you, Fonz, for the $20 hauler. Thank you, G Money, for the $20 hauler. And then celebratory messages. I don't know if we have any. I think we did. Smitty, you're the man, from Marty. Marty, appreciate you dropping that one. And I don't think we had any gifted memberships today. So, but thank you for even dropping supers and just being here. I'll see you all after the game. Appreciate every single one of you. Prayers up to those of you that have no CMC, or you have CMC and no Jordan Mason. Make sure everybody goes and grabs Garendo. Do it live. Thank you, Ralph. You're the man. Ralph, the man with the thickest skin in the West. Shoddy to the moon. Thanks, Shoddy.
Well, no going back now. You sure you want to do this, Kyle? Yeah. We have to. Let's go. Start the procedure. Masonites assemble. It was brought to my attention I might be talking a little bit too much about the same topic lately. I've been doing a lot of JD5 posts, and I know people are saying, Smitty, I wish you create more diverse content. You've been, 4 of your last 10 posts have been about JD5, and I just said, I don't know. I guess my reaction wasn't really the best. So I want to first acknowledge that and just say, no one's perfect. I'm always trying to get better. And I do think you won't hear any more. I'm gonna stay away from JD5 content. Never. Come on, bro. Buckle up, baby.
get laid.